Hey, Mr. Clash here, and we're going to have a look at this attack, a LALO. A question about the LALO. Having watched this, is this the perfect LALO? Does it get any better than this attack? Oh, sure, there's been some faster ones, but and I'm talking about this in terms of the base. So we'll just have a very quick look at what I'm talking about. So on an awesome LALO attack, let's say Town Hall 9 LALO, and you'll see this is the same. Queen's here. So the idea is I can come into the Queen, except it's Town Hall 10. We have a Town Hall over this side. So if we try to do something here, we've got to go old school, take out the Town Hall, take out this thing, come over. If we have a ram instead, then we can come in from this side. Now, in terms of where do I want to come in, where do I need to drop the ram, what else do I need to clear so that the ram doesn't take forever clearing things? So if you drop the ram here, what does that mean to the Town Hall? Well, it's going to go straight line to the Town Hall, a bit straighter than my line, which means these are the walls it's going to go through. Now, if you don't have a drawing program that you can draw like this, you've got to imagine you grab your tab, grab your device, and just do a little line. Don't drag your hand on the screen because then it'll move the base, but just put it just above the screen and move it from right to left. And you go, yeah, that's the path it will go. So coming from the Town Hall, moving over, okay, this is where I need to drop the ram, if that's the location you want to do it from. So if you want to come in from here, say, then you have to do the opposite. You can do that to the Town Hall, but then you have to extrapolate it back out this way. And then you go, I dropped the ram roughly around here, roughly around this area. It will come in, punch this wall, punch this wall, punch that wall. It'll do that sort of a pathing. If I drop it slightly up here, you can see that my lines are a little bit wonky. Okay, so that one should be probably, if I drop it there, it'll kind of want to path through this way, kinda. It's not 100%, it's not an exact science, it does a little bit, it does some tricky stuff. Now the other thing as well is, with all LALOs, that is, okay, so you're going to come in with the ram. By coming in from this angle, you give access to this air defense and that air defense. But it also means these all go down. Great threats, but it also means you're probably not going to get that one. You might do, but either way, and this will go down, and maybe even that blower. Either way, that portion of the base is wiped out. Now, why that's important is because there's nothing here to drag some balloons across the middle while there's other balloons over here. So when you deploy balloons onto these things here, onto these things, when you deploy those balloons, they have nowhere else to go. They have to go to the Inferno. This has to, depending on which it's going, some will go this way, some will go that way. This way, some will go both ways. So you've seen me draw these little lines before when I'm talking about the way things path from one thing to the other. And they will go that way, and so on. So you get to see where some of the pathing is. That should all go that way. That should go that way onto the Inferno. Some will go this way, and some will come onto the Expo. So you've just seen how from this angle, you might, depending if you've had some here, some might go to that Expo as well from this archer here. So just keep in mind, some might go to the Expo from this archer. And we're going to have a look at just how some of this balloon pathing will go. Some will go that way. These ones will go this way. And then this will come in this way. That's the sort of pathing that we're talking about. So I know it's hard, but if you can do that in your mind or you do that in a drawing program, then you'll see. So we'll keep an eye on this archer. Where they come from here, some will go that way, some should path this way. We'll see if that's actually what happens in the attack. Okay, I'm going to clear this off. Let's just watch the attack. And I feel that this base itself is kind of the perfect base for a LALO. Now there's something very interesting, and it's going to happen up here just any second now. And it's It's a very, you don't see this often. You'll see a bowler, say, placed here that might bounce onto the mortar, if that's got enough health to keep the bowler bouncing. Also, wall breaker to ping the Tesla so he could get the bowler in to do a bounce and take out the Tesla. I thought that was just genius. But what it also does is it starts to create a funnel over this side, so troops, king, queen won't path that way. So there's a now nice big gap. So whatever you bring in has to path in. So the golem's coming in. Golem's going to be doing some tanking for the siege machine. We'll just pause the siege machine there for a second and we'll just draw a magic little line. We'll see if we can anticipate where the siege machine is going to path through. Okay, so that looks pretty well like what we're actually going to see. So remember what I said, if you went in reverse and you wanted to path through these walls, where would you have to drop it? You'd have to drop it up there. So that's why you can just hover your hand over the base just to get a good idea. Anyway, let's keep on with the attack. King's gone down. Wizard will take this hut out. King's got nowhere else to go. He has to path in. I know he wants to move. He wants to walk around the outside, but he has to path in. There are no infernos here. So the siege machine's going to get through a lot of walls, let's just say. Now, yes, the queen will lock onto it. The inferno has just locked onto it now. But we've got Valkyries in there. So the king's wrecked through the wall, taking out the queen. Valkyries are going to take out a bit of stuff. And now pre-haste. So that means the balloons will get there in nice and quickly so that the hound and so on has less damage done to it. Now we'll keep an eye on this. Oh, look at that. The queen has managed to get all the way in there. So we don't even have to worry about pathing onto that expo. And that's why I said it seems like it's the almost perfect LALO attack. That whole section taken out of the kill squad just has this nice little C shape run for LALO for the balloon portion to get around the base. And look at the spells left. Still got one haste, one rage, and one heal. And there we go. We've got the rage and the heal together because, you know, there's a wizard there in that area. And then we're going to have one more haste to go. And there it is. And the wizard is doomed. Can't do anything. So you notice that no balloons path from here around there because they all came on this side. Therefore, the wizard was closer. So we'll speed that up. We're going to have another look at this attack because it was just so very well thought out. Yes, it's reminiscent of what you would have expected at Town Hall 9 when a lot of people were doing the bowler LALO, go-bow LALO attacks, where they were just coming in with the bowlers, wiping out 2 air defenses and just LALOing the rest of the base. It was a very dominant attack. When we had the first forum versus Reddit war, it was the predominant Town Hall 9 attack, the go-bow LALO, and of course that war introduced us to the witches. And following my witch slap video, which Supercell kindly shared on their Twitter, suddenly everybody knew about witches, and that's all she wrote, let's just say, and everyone started playing around with the witches because they could see how dominant they were. And now second Reddit versus forum war was dominated by witches. So the first one was LALOs, go-bow LALO, and the second one was witches, and then from then on for Town Hall 9 it's been witches. You do get someone every now and then do a LALO or a hog attack or something like that, but by and large Town Hall 9 is just devolved, I guess you could say, into can you design a base that can withstand witches? And the answer pretty well is no. But anyway, enough of that. Let's have a look at this. Now, the beauty I only just noticed in that first replay before is that after the queen goes down, you can see the king's on her, and the Valkyries wreck through that wall and take out that weapon on the left-hand side, take out the leaf blower, the air sweeper. Then they decide that they're all going to hit different walls for some reason and just perish. But it doesn't matter. They've created this nice little pathway. It's almost like a little balloon or LALO expressway all the way across. Yeah, you got a few air skellies there, but the hounds, or the pups I should say, took care of the air skellies. No problem there. You've only got this one Inferno tower. Let's just watch how they all path around. Nice little hasting of balloons. And we're going to have that heal rage. in this area, of course, to try and protect from the wizard splash. If you make, and you just saw the red bomb there as well. So that could have been really devastating. Red bomb makes all the balloons weak, wizard splash, and suddenly all the balloons go down, and you might have lost 8 balloons there. So it was a really good choice to do the rage and the heal. I hadn't even noticed that red bomb until just now, talking about it. So that is an awesome attack. We'll just speed up the cleanup again. From Crimson Warrior, this was a gauntlet war that this attack was done in, and we had an even tie on the gauntlet war with people that came up runner-up or knocked out in the playoffs or something in one of the CWL divisions. So we had a tie with them. So let's just have a look at that attack again. We'll have a look at it at speed, just a little bit of speed. And while we talk about what is ultimately the question of the day. So, the question of the day, I'll get it out now while we watch this attack at 2 times speed. The question of the day is this: why are banks no good at keeping secrets? Why are banks no good at keeping secrets? The answer is because there are too many tellers. And I don't mean like Penn and Teller, where one of them is just, never talks. And he doesn't talk because his name is Teller, and just a little bit of gossip. He doesn't talk because his name is Teller and they thought it would be funny. He doesn't talk because when he was learning magic, as he says in his own words, he thought often what magicians said was kind of pointless. Here I am. Here's a red balloon. Here's a red ball. Here's a whatever. And he thought, why are you telling me this? So we could see all this. So he just decided it was far better not to talk. So that's why he doesn't talk. It's not because his name's Teller and it's a play on his names. But anyway, that was the question of the day. This was Crimson Warrior's most awesome attack. So that's it for this video. Please leave the video a thumb up because it does have the channel. Do please comment on this video. Let me know what you thought of this, or if you've even seen a base more suitable to LALO. This one was an awesomely suited base to LALO, and it was an awesome LALO attack as well, in my opinion. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and I'll see you in the next video.